Your kitchen or bath is looking pretty embarrassing. With CMK Construction, they ask the right questions, design with intention, and deliver results that get noticed. CMK backs it up, beating any competitor's price by 5%. CMK Construction just won Best of the Best for an incredible 6 years in a row. They transform Tampa homes into dream spaces, functional, beautiful, timeless. Call CMK Construction today or visit cmkconstructioninc.com. CMK Construction. Imagine, design, build.
Streaming from the ABC Action Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live Plus. Brought to you by CMK Construction, crafting Tampa's most exquisite bathrooms and kitchens.
How you doing, everybody? It is day 2 of DPL on broadcast. Thanks for stopping by. We are, oh, you know what? I got to make sure I add on Instagram, too. There's so many buttons to press. And not that I am a button presser, not that I'm a pot stirrer, but yeah, I had to click on the Instagram one. Now I am. So we are right now live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, not TikTok. They stopped. You have to, never mind. Broadcast TV, 66.1 on OTA, which is over the air, channel 17 on Spectrum, because as you all know, this is a religious/inspirational program on Spectrum 17, as well as the other cable company on 17. I can't remember the name, but it's one of them. So I don't know how that happened. And we've been going around saying, it's like, who really said that this show was religious or inspirational? I don't know how it happened. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. We got a lot to talk about. Let's so Jules is already like, ban button presser when needed. Yes, this is true. So if you're watching on TV and you're not familiar with the ban button, look, this is the way it works. We are a group that we've been hanging out in this chat function thing for almost 2 decades. Really. Way before Facebook went live with it, we had a bunch of us and we started to get together and doing this little stuff. So we like camaraderie. We like to chat amongst ourselves. You guys have your own conversations going on over here. And every now and again, you might get somebody who goes in who wants to be a rabble rouser, wants to cause some problem, wants to cause some issues. Whether they're spamming, whether they're talking politics, whether they're just rude, whether they're a keyboard warrior, and you guys all know the type. Oh, I'm going to go in and make a fuss with all these folks for no particular reason. Well, I have the ability to ban them forever on live streams. Of course, they can now watch on TV, but I don't care. They can't comment. And speaking of comments, what do we got going on here? We will get to it, and that's another thing. So if you're watching on TV and you're like, wait a minute, okay, it's not religious, it's not inspirational, it ain't weather either. No, we get to the weather. We do get to the weather, but this is an interactive thing. And a lot of people yesterday were saying they were watching on TV, but they were still following on the comments. So they kind of got the best of both worlds. They could watch on a big screen TV, and then they could still follow on their laptop on comments. So that's kind of what some folks have do. Ken and Largo, how you doing? LaDawn and Trinity, good to see you. Tina in Winter Haven. Land Lakes in the house with Marcia. Jules, good to see you. Anna Maria, as always. Trisha in my neck of the woods, Palm Harbor. Thank you, Suzanne. But you are right, Mary. We have the all-important ban button. So, and by the way, I don't ban the folks from seeing me on Facebook. getting posts and stuff. So, as a public service, I think I'm actually required to kind of make myself available if a hurricane's coming. But that doesn't mean I have to give them the ability to go in and raise a ruckus in the chat. Alex, how you doing? Bridget, as always, good to see you. Some of these folks have been here for a long time, like literally decades. We got a lot of new folks in. Laszlo, how you doing, my buddy? Now, how many of y'all have seen the movie Real Genius? Yes, Real Genius, with Val Kilmer, who passed away recently. So there was a guy who lived under the stairs. His name was Laszlo. It's a great movie, by the way. It's a really funny movie. Very good movie. I give it a thumbs up. Laszlo is not the same Laszlo, but Laszlo is here. Steve, I don't think I'm inspirational, but I try to keep it a little entertaining. I try to keep it going a little bit. So Heidi in Paso Grill, how you doing? Trying to get your roof done. Want to know if there's any way you can uncover it this week. Not the next 2 days, and probably not on Saturday either. I do think on Sunday you'll start to see some improvements. Wiki Watchy's in the house, getting some much-needed rain. Terry, good to hear. Thomas, do I have a Dr. Pepper umbrella? I do not, Thomas in Nokomis. But as you know, this is my elixir of choice, Diet Dr. Pepper. Joy and Mike, how are you guys doing? So yeah, we got lots of folks in here as always. We're going to talk tonight about the tropics, and we're going to talk about our rain potential as well. In fact, let's go ahead and do a quick look at the radar, and we'll kind of show you what's happening right this second. So there it is. So Donna's from Turtletown, Tennessee. I have never heard of Turtletown, Tennessee. And I've got relatives in Knoxville. So, I mean, on the eastern side of Tennessee, where UT is, not University of Tampa, not University of Texas, University of Tennessee, go Vols. And my grandma, my mom lived in Big Stone Gap, Virginia, which is in southwestern Virginia near the Tennessee border. So I know that area pretty well. I have never heard of Turtletown. So anyway, here is a look at the rain. You can see the rain building in the Gulf, all right? And that is the key to the forecast. So a nowcast forecast, if you will, is showing rain moving through our inland areas, more rain popping in the Gulf. Why is that? We actually have a cold front. Believe it or not, we have a cold front stretching across the northern sections of the state. Will that cold front bring us any cooler weather? Will that cold front bring us any rain tomorrow and Friday? Well, if you're watching on broadcast, we'll be back to talk about that in a minute and a half. We'll see you then. Okay, so streamers, you are still here. Facebook, you are still here. I think we're in a commercial break. Yep, we are. See, I'm trying to get a little bit better. It does make it a little challenging. You guys know this because Marco Island's in the house. How you doing, Daniel? Because I've got these little segments now. It isn't just me doing whatever, right? I was going to have Ryan tonight on as a Zoom guest, my daughter Ryan, but I wasn't quite sure yet about the, how it's going to work. So I figured we'd give it another day or two just to kind of get a feel for it. But, Ryan, if you're watching, you can call, and I can put you on like we always do, talking on the phone. That would be entertaining. So anyway, let's see. TV people will be back in 40 seconds. I learned a little bit last night. I started talking right at zero. I should wait till about 2 seconds because it kind of cuts it off a little bit. So when they get here, we are going to jump back in and talk about the rain in the next 24 to 36 hours. Then we're talking about the forecast. And this is kind of cool, too. No, Charlotte, I think there's going to be 2 ion stations, but it isn't quite finished yet. So this is nice. We're going to be able to do both. We're going to be able to chat on TV in 10 seconds, but we're also going to do what we always do, which is a lot of conversation back and forth, because that's what DPL is, conversation back and forth. All right, so back in. So we are back on Dennis Phillips Live. Just so you know, folks watching on TV, we've been talking about you. We've been talking about you on streaming and Facebook. So my suggestion, I realize some folks more of a passive viewing thing. You don't want to get involved in the chat, but you can still read the comments because I am still on live on Facebook and streaming while you guys are in commercial breaks. I am all about commercial breaks. I'm all for that because that helps me pay my paycheck, but you can get the best of both worlds. So let's jump in right now and do a little bit of radar analysis, shall we? And I'm here to answer your questions. I'm still kind of scouring the comments as they come by. Stephanie wants to know if Longboat Key will have some sun. Not a lot, but I do think a little bit more on Friday. Definitely more on Sunday. Sunday is definitely the day you'll see more. Wichita, Kansas is in the house with Bobby Bond. James Kyle, my golfing buddy at East Lake Woodlands. How are you? All right, there's a look at radar. So we already talked about that. James got 2 inches of rain at his place a couple days ago. And some folks, not much of anything. And boy, you look at radar, this is just a perfect example of it. So right now, there's some very, very heavy rain across those inland areas. All right, so I can go ahead and zoom into some of the spots that are picking up the heaviest rain. This is right this minute. This is the live from Winter Haven to Bartow, back to Fort Meade, over to Lake Wales. I want you to see the way that it's all moving. It's all moving from west to east, all right? So there it is. You see, kind of southwest to northeast. So if we use our little storm tracking feature, if you live in northeastern Polk or anywhere around Orlando, and we do get some viewers, some followers from that Orlando area. So there's the time frame when this area is going to get there. From Southport, St. Cloud, over toward Harmony, Haines City, our neck of the woods, our viewing folks, at 7:42. All right, so let's keep going. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have going in the next couple of days. So still some rain from eastern Hernando, Citrus County as well, and eastern Manatee. Temperatures right now, upper 70s to the middle 80s. Highs today, about where we're supposed to be. Cairo wants to know if Safety Harbor will have rain on the night of the 4th. Well, you know what? We'll take a look at Futurecast in just a minute, and I will answer that question. I do think, well, just stand by. All right, 85 right now at the airport. There's a view looking out to the west from Ray J. So there is a little bit of breaks in the cloud cover. We hit 90 today. It's about right. 1 degree below average. This morning we dropped down to 79. 3/100ths of an inch of rain. That's what we've had in the last 24 hours at the airport. All right, there's a look. Now, here's Futurecast. I want you to look at where you live. I want you to look at the time clock, and we're going to go hour by hour for you, okay? This is 8 o'clock tonight. This is 9 o'clock. This is 10 o'clock. This is 11 o'clock. Now, notice what happens. Rain starts popping along the coast. With a front off to our north and a westerly flow, you're going to see overnight and coastal showers. I can all but guarantee, and if you guys were watching last night, you know I do not use the G word very often because I guaranteed it would not rain on Halloween 31 years ago, and it did, and I'm still haunted to the day by that forecast. So I will not use the word guarantee, but I will strongly forecast that there will be a water spout or two offshore tomorrow and again on Friday with the close proximity of the front and that southwest flow. So, and if we get it, I will definitely post it, as we had one today off Egmont Key. So there's the overnight. There's 4 a.m. There's 5 a.m. There's 6 a.m. There's 7 a.m. This is tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Now, Greg will be in, and by the way, Greg D., your friend and mine, will be hosting DPL, so technically it'll be GDL, next week when I'm at my daughter's softball tournament in Panama City. So, Greg will be here, and Greg will be far more formatted than I am. Greg is a formatted kind of guy. He's going to come in tomorrow night and kind of learn what I do here, but he's going to do it his way, as Frank Sinatra said. 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, lunchtime. Notice, all morning long, there's going to be rain out there. Coastal areas, inland, not so much until later in the day. There's 2 o'clock tomorrow. There's 3 o'clock. There's 4 o'clock. There's 5 o'clock. There's 6 tomorrow evening. Look at the breaks. See what I'm saying? It is not going to rain all the time. But that rain up north is the rain associated with the actual front itself, which will not make it through. But look how the rain stacks up along that front tomorrow evening in our northern counties. So again, look at where you live and kind of go from there. And on the 4th, we're going to have morning showers. You still got a westerly flow, west to southwest flow, even though the front looks like it's trying to come through. The energy out ahead of it will. But look, here's the key. Look in the afternoon. Look at where most of the rain stacks up, central and east. Frisco, Texas. Dave, how you doing, man? So the point I'm trying to make here is for the 4th, I do think in the afternoon hours and in the evening, there's going to be breaks. And I think there'll be some breaks enough to get the fireworks in. That is not an official, I have nothing to do with making that call, but I think the forecast is probably going to be okay for that. Inland areas, maybe not so much. What about the tropics? We got all that stuff coming up in the tropics. The new numbers will be out any second. And folks watching right now on TV, I'll have that for you coming up in 90 seconds. Okay, I think I'm in commercial break again. All right. Yeah, they are overhyping it, Thomas. They are. All right, so I'm going to answer a few questions as well coming back out because oh, my daughter Ryan's calling. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hello? Am I in a commercial break?
Yes.
Are you watching?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's stay tuned, and you can say hi to people watching on TV. That'll be a first.
Okay.
Okay, I'll put you on speaker. Okay, so everybody's saying that we are on commercial break, so that's good. July 5th in Innisbrook. Oh, Pirate Squad, I will be there. I will be there. That is the plan. Apparently, I might even get to press the button to make the fireworks happen. All right, it's 37 seconds till we're back. Everybody's saying hi, Ryan. Anita's saying James, Kyle, saying hi. Jules. Okay, just a second, sweetie. Anna Maria's saying hi. So these aren't the TV folks. These are the folks who know you. Maybe the TV folks don't know you quite as well, but they're going to soon. I can guarantee you that. All right, we are back in 20 seconds. And boy, this show flies on TV in terms of the pacing because there's the commercials and the segments are pretty quick. All right, we are back on from TV in 4, 3, 2. How you guys doing? We are back on Dennis Phillips Live and special guest star. Now, if you've been watching or following my page for a while back in COVID days, you might remember my daughter, Ryan. Ryan is on the phone right now. Ryan, how old were you when you were doing, well, that was back in 2021. So that was what, 4 years ago?
So 6, yeah.
So you were 6. So you might remember she was playing. We were going to do a Zoom, but it was too close to the end of the show, and I didn't want to take a chance. So she used to play you played the opening theme song for the show, right?
Yeah. You could say that.
You could say that? Do you care to elaborate?
Well, on my piano keyboard, like I wasn't actually playing it.
Shh!
Just pressing
Don't give away the illusion. What are you doing?
It was a demo song.
It was a demo song. Oh, well, that's.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, hey, by the way, real quick, and then I'll let you go because I want to talk Tropics. Tell everybody what's going to happen on July 24th.
Oh, I'm singing the national anthem at a Threshers game.
July 24th, Threshers game in Clearwater. I'm going to be throwing out the first pitch. Ryan is going to be singing the national anthem, and we're going to have a meet and greet. So July 24th, come on out to the Threshers game. Meet Ryan. Everybody, no one cares about meeting me. Meet Ryan. And come on by, and rule number 7, the Crooked Thumb will be there with their rule number 7 pale ale as well. Sweetie, I will see you when I get home tonight, okay?
Love you.
I love you, sweetie. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was Ryan. She called during the break. So anyway, let's talk Tropics real quick. All right, so, and Dominique remembers you're playing the piano. Boy, that was a while ago, right? That definitely was. I mean, she was so little back then, and now she's not little anymore, and it makes me so sad. All right, so I'm looking at more pictures. All right, so if you have any questions right now about your specific areas, I'm kind of looking here at the same time. So you look at these rainfall numbers, and they look scary. And in my opinion, the numbers, okay, here's the reality of it. You see that red color is 3 or 4 inches of rain, right? We get 3 or 4 inches of rain in one strong thunderstorm in an hour. So you look at these and you say, oh, we're going to get flooded and, all this kind of stuff. And I mean, I know there's some areas with sandbags and stuff. In my opinion, we're going to get some rain, heavy at times, and we're going to have periods of rain. But this is not a tropical storm or a widespread flooding event. It's just not. But if we get 4 inches or 5 inches of rain in an hour or two, you're going to see some flooding. And we get that in the summer. The difference is we could have that over a period of a day or two. So it's not going to rain all the time, not even close. It's going to be cloudy most of tomorrow. And this tropical system that we've been talking about, that has nothing to do with any of this rain, if it even develops. A lot of clouds the next few days, keeping temperatures down. So here's the let me look and see actually what the latest NHC stuff is, because it just got issued for the 8 o'clock advisory. See if it's still at 40%. Yep, still at 40% at 8 o'clock. So here's the bottom line with this, okay? St. Pete Beach on Thursday. Melissa wants to know. Thursday is the worst day. I'm afraid you're going to have rain most of the morning, off and on, and into the afternoon. I think it's going to be cloudy all day. I really do. So, KJ, you're right. We're still going to be celebrating. So, you know what? Rain or no rain, we're going to be celebrating. So, this area that develops, okay, I do believe it is going to develop east of Florida. And matter of fact, I'll show you the European model is showing a very similar setup. I'll go ahead and show you some of these graphics real quick. All right, so here you go. So this is the Euro. Look at where all the spaghetti models are on this. They're all right here, northeast of Florida. But this is one that might make, and look where that goes. So as a depression, it's just not set up for much development. There's a great map right here. These are the odds of a tropical depression forming. And the yellowish color, that is about a 50 to 60% chance of development. So yeah, there's a decent chance this becomes a depression, maybe even Chantal briefly as it moves away from Florida. But the rain that we're getting has nothing to do with a developing system, whether it develops or not. It is a front. It is a cold front, believe it or not. Sean, where's your 540 line? Yeah, I don't think. Let's look, actually. That's a good question. Let's see if there's a 540 line anywhere in the U.S. I kind of think not. 540 line is the freezing line, folks. And Sean, one of our buddies here, is always looking for it. Yeah, the 540 line's in the North Pole. No 540 line. So at the end of the day, that front, when it stalls out, can lead to the possibility of development. And we'll talk a little bit more about that and sum up the forecast coming up in just 90 seconds for folks watching on TV. All right, that's the last commercial break for TV. And Robin, tomorrow night, you know what? They're probably not going to get, look, they're going to get a good bit of rain in the morning into the afternoon. Tomorrow's a tough game. Tomorrow's a tough game. When we come back, I'm just going to answer questions. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to answer your questions to end the show. And we're back, and I'll stay on here, you know, a few minutes longer. But I don't want the folks on TV to miss it as well. So, Dorothy, how you doing? Good to see you. Saturday birthday for Nancy. Dade City says hi. Nancy, good to see you. Friday, Punta Gorda. Westerly flow, morning, early afternoon rain, moving inland. I don't know, Mary, I'm trying. These commercial breaks are definitely, you know, it just, you know, you're talking and then you got to remember to pace it out, and then we're out at 58, but I got to get out at 57, 58, so it doesn't cut me off at the end. These little things I'm learning along the way. So we are back, but thank you, guys. Thank you for keeping me up to date with breaks and commercials and all the times, because trust me, it's really helpful for me. All right, so we are back on in 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, we are back on our final segment of Dennis Phillips Live. Again, stalled out front, north central Florida. Technically, it's a cold front, but it isn't. Now, up north, it'll be a little cool, a little drier. Not for us. It stays north of us, so we're still staying in the southwest flow. Rain chances remain high. Onshore flow means morning to early afternoon coastal showers, pushing inland later on in the afternoon. The moisture probably starts to go away a little bit by the end of the weekend. Let's make this last segment lightning round. How about, hey, heat lightning round? That literally just came to my mind. We can make the last segment heat lightning round, and it's nothing but Q&A. I like that one. I don't know where it came from, but I like that one. All right. Heat lightning round. Start right now. Ask your questions, and I will just answer. What about Key West? Less rain across the southern counties and the southern part of the state. All right, Amanda, I will show the map after this is over, after TV's over, because I like the heat lightning round concept. Flying out of Tampa, this is Chris. Flying out of Tampa tomorrow at 7. I think you will be okay. Diana's like, that's not real. There is no heat lightning. True story. Okay, let's see, what else we got? What causes heat lightning? Michael, heat lightning is just a term used for lightning too far away for you to hear thunder. That's all it is. Drier. Inland areas will get the rain later. Coastal areas will probably see a little bit of improvement by Saturday into Sunday. All right, what else do we got? Rain, Thursday stick figure concert. Mark, there's going to be rain on Thursday. That's the rainiest day. But I do think in the evening, a lot of it's going to start to move inland. So you got a shot. Fort DeSoto on Saturday afternoon. I think coastal areas, afternoon and evening, Saturday and Sunday, you might be okay. St. Pete on Sunday, morning showers along the coast, inland in the afternoon. Lunch group tomorrow in Apollo Beach. Cheryl, you're going to get rained on. Tuned in late. What are my thoughts for Citrus County? 12:30 p.m. from Knoxville. Tomorrow, there's going to be some rain in Citrus tomorrow morning, Jody. And by the way, you are not hidden, so I can see it. It looks good. Friday, Fort DeSoto. Morning showers, I think in the afternoon, it moves inland. Heat lightning round continues. Dennis, any potential for severe weather? Only water spouts. That's the only thing. Best day to go boating? Sunday. That's from Amy. James says it's all about the hoodie. We have more hoodies coming, and proceeds benefit the Children's Miracle Network. That'll be coming up in the next week or two. Heather had a dream that your pool flooded and the wind knocked over your fence, and I was in the yard forecasting. Okay, I like it. Craig, how goes it? Fireworks in Cape Coral on Friday night. Friday night's a little dicey. Friday night, I can't guarantee it. I'll give you 50-50 on that one. We have a Veterans Hockey Tournament in Jacksonville next weekend. Next weekend, you'll be okay. Not this weekend, next weekend. Saturday, boating. In the afternoon, you might be okay. In the morning, I still think you're going to be looking at some rain and maybe some water spouts. Cruise on Sunday. Kathy, I think you're going to be okay. I think you'll see improvements on Sunday. Madeira Beach fireworks tomorrow night, 50-50. 50-50. Tomorrow is not the good day. I'll be honest. Tomorrow is not the good day. Krista says, hi, Auntie Mel. How you doing? Hey. No, Denise, you know heat lightning is not real, but we're going to call it heat lightning round because I love it. Busch Gardens late afternoon and fireworks for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not a good day. If you're talking about tomorrow, tomorrow is not a good day. You got a chance on the 4th and definitely on Saturday. Gainesville on Friday. The front's going to be right on top of you. I still think you're going to be dodging raindrops. Thursday and Friday are the 2 days that are not looking great. Inland, Friday afternoon and evening is where the better chance of rain will be, less along the coast, and then Saturday and Sunday, I think we'll see some improvements. Jody, Saturday morning rain along the coast Saturday morning. Inland, no. What time for the rain in Winter Haven tomorrow, Kim? That would be in the afternoon and evening. Golf at Innisbrook. Michael wants to know, golf tomorrow at Innisbrook at 11, you're going to get rained on. Orlando all weekend, afternoon and evening. The mornings should be dry. I like this heat lightning round. This works. Friday ride to Tampa from Vero. Best time to drive, Jody, in the late morning, early afternoon. Plant City Saturday. Morning, late morning, early afternoon would be the better chance for showers. Earlier in the day, you're probably okay. All right, I think that's about all we have time for a lightning round on this. I will continue. If you're watching on TV, switch over to Facebook, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. We got through this pretty clean, and we will be back again tomorrow night. Remember, Greg D will be GDL on Monday of next week as I head up to Panama City for my daughter's last softball tournament. You guys have a great night. Thanks for watching DPL. Okay, so I think we are good. So let's just continue our heat lightning round. Melissa, Saturday morning flights. I do think there's going to be some, I don't think there'll be delays. but I do think you're going to see some rain Saturday morning. 11 a.m. tea time tomorrow, Michael. Yeah, like I said, I think you're going to get rained on. So Debbie says, my cable summit says I'm on, but it's a cop show. So I will tell you something about cable. This is a little inside baseball, which I don't really know much about it. But apparently, until there is an agreement between shows and companies, and because Channel 66, 66.1 is the new home of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I believe there's going to have to be an agreement with our company, which has the rights to the Lightning games now, and the cable companies. So at the very least, 66.1, not on cable, it's called OTA, over the air. Now, the ways that you get it, a couple of ways. One, you can get an antenna at Walmart for 20 bucks, plug it into your TV, search for channels using the antenna mode, and all the local channels that are floating around the air will show up. And one of them will be 66.1, and that's where you will see this show. All right? There's another one, Tableau. I tried it out yesterday. It's pretty cool. Here's what Tableau is. Tableau is a cable box. Cable. It's not cable. It's like a cable box, but what it does is it searches for all those channels floating around the air, not cable, and it saves them in the form of a guide like a cable box. So you can then scroll through your guide and you'll be able to see what channels are on and what shows are on, and you can record the shows as a DVR. So here's the advantage to that. If you're a big Lightning fan and you want to watch the game, the Lightning game, and you can't watch it, you have this Tableau unit, all right? You can then set up to record the Lightning games for free because there's no monthly fee for the Tableau box. It's a one-time fee. It ranges between 80 and 100 bucks. So that is a way that you can record the Lightning games. If you can't watch it then, you want to watch them later or whatever, you can do it that way. That's what I suggest doing. Okay, and one other thing, we talked about the Threshers game on the 24th. Ryan singing the national anthem. I'm going to be singing, no. I'm going to be throwing out the first pitch, and I'll be signing autographs and doing meet and greets and the whole 9 yards. And on August 3rd, when the Rays are taking on the Dodgers at Steinbrenner Field, I'm going to be throwing out the first pitch on that game. So that's going to be kind of exciting for me because Shohei Ohtani is going to be there for the Dodgers and the best player in baseball. You might argue Aaron Judge. There will be people who would argue, but Aaron Judge doesn't throw 102 from the pitcher's mound, so, you know, I don't know. So that's going to be kind of exciting. So that's going on August 3rd. I think there's still tickets available for that game, but I know there are still tickets for the Threshers game. Denise is saying, what about the Panama City softball tourneys next week? Well, I'm going to be there, Denise. I think look, it's Florida in July. There's going to be some rain delays. There always is. But I would not believe it's going to be washouts the entire time because this frontal boundary will have dissipated by then. So it definitely should be improving. All right. Flight leaving out of Tampa. Kelly, flight leaving out of Tampa Thursday morning. There might be, look, it's not going to be, there might be some delays. There might be some delays. Not severe weather, but just some downpours could cause some delays for takeoffs at the airport tomorrow. I do think there is going to be some morning rain. Here, I'll show you that again, matter of fact. I'll go ahead and take you that. All right. Here is a look at Futurecast again. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight. So here's tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. See how it's stacking up along the coast and moving in? Now, this is bringing it down south as the leading edge of the rain out ahead of the front kind of comes in. That might be, I'll believe it when I see it. And then here's the 4th. Again, you have the leading edge of the rain from the front coming through, and then we see maybe a little bit of drying behind it. Not the front itself, but behind that area. So that might work as well. All right. So I think that's about it. I will be back. We are the spot 66.1. That is correct, Lynn. That is correct. So, but I'm still doing my thing. I'm still on ABC Action News. I'm still doing the weather for the channel right now, we've just purchased another channel. Our company now owns the Spot channel and did the deal with the Lightning to carry their games. So all preseason games, all regular season games, and first rounds of the playoff, which is pretty cool. Somebody wants to know about, Diane wants to know about banning. I'm hearing that some people, wait a minute. Some people are saying someone needs to be banned. But yet again, boy, a lot of you are going to say we need to ban. Oh, I see it, but I don't know how to get that person. Yes, I do. See options, block, ban. Okay. Gone. I think. So, Art wants to know what the ban button is. Art. Good question. And we do have some folks who are out from TV and they don't normally watch. All right. We are a group of, we love each other. We are lovers, not fighters. Well, look, there's a lot of camaraderie in this group. A lot of us have been part of this chat for over 20 years. Yeah, since Charlie. So way before Facebook Lives happened. And when we get a large audience like I now kind of have, I mean, I've got nearly 2 million followers overall on all social platforms, you get a lot of people. And every now and again, believe it or not, some of these people may be somewhat undesirable. They're not just troublemakers, they're spammers, the people who try to steal people's information. You get some people who just aren't nice, rude comments, talk politics, et cetera, et cetera. I just don't put up with it. So when I see it happening, I ban them forever from live streams. So that's what it is. And you know what? And it makes everybody happier. And what is funny about it is there's a lot of people on here who are here just for the banning. I'm like, ban him, ban him, ban. So it is kind of a, lack of a better description, of mob mentality. But you know what? When somebody's being a jerk or they're rude or they're trying to be obnoxious or they steal stuff or whatever the case may be, I don't have a lot of sympathy for these people. Most of them are keyboard warriors. So I just start banning. And I love it. So, and it works because it keeps the peace. And that's what I'm about. I'm peaceful. Ryan and my family's watching like, what? Who is this guy? It's not my dad. So, and we are family. That's exactly right, Diane. We are family. So it goes from 7:30 to 7:58 on 66.1. That is the time frame. It's a half hour. Greg knows about the ban button, Art, but I don't know if he will be using it. Not really sure. And look, Daniel says, I admit it, I'm here for the ban button. So I'm serious. I want it. As I was talking to my boss, and she's like, I don't know if we can have a ban button graphic kind of a thing. I'm like, look, I like it. I think it'd be funny. So I hit the ban button, and then we have a full screen graphic, like the voice of God. You have been banned. And then go back, or something like that. I like it, because that could be used as a deterrence. Now, truth be told, it might not be a deterrent. It might be somebody, I want to get banned. Hey, let's go on and get banned. And then so, because it's always the expression, don't feed the trolls, right? And that's all that these people usually are. So, all right. So Melissa, yeah, well, that's what happens, because everybody just, Greg is kind of afraid of it, Jody. Greg is going to be far more informational than I am. He's going to have his graphics all preset. Everything's going to be in order. That is Greg. That is who he is. He's a great person to have on the team because he, keeps everything in line. Funny story. So I have graphics in the weather computer that, might be 20 years old, all right? And I still like to use them from time to time. Greg wants to go in and blow them all out because he wants everything to be exactly as formatted and exactly as approved. And that's not me. You know this. This is not me. So Greg said, so I can't remember what it was, but he was almost like, all right, you could Dennis, either you do this or one by one, your holiday graphics are going to start to disappear. And he did a little skull and crossbones on it. So So Greg might appear to be this very, very helpful, very nice, very straight-laced kind of guy where he's like, I'm going to keep everything in order. Oh, no, Greg has a dark side. Greg has, and he's trying to hold my holiday graphics hostage at times. And then Jason gets involved. Jason laughs at the whole thing, but he'll stir the pot a little bit. Jason Adams, our weekend guy, he'll be like, he'll stir it a little bit and like trying to say, no, not me, I'm not stirring it. Oh, but he does. Shay is like, Shay looks at us as her brothers, and she's like, oh, the brothers they're doing it again. Now, Allie is the new person. Allie Blake, I mean, she's been here almost a year now, but she's still, and Allie's younger. Allie's in her 20s. So, and it's funny because at times we post for each other. So on social, you all know we don't sleep a lot during hurricane season, but if there's something going on and we want to get it out, we'll post for everybody. Allie posts like a 20-something person, right? And I'll read my post and it'll say something that there's no way in the world I would ever say. Like, wait a minute, that is not the verbiage even close to what I'm using. But so I will go in and make some edits. And so as a team, we really, really work well together. And we've got, as we get into hurricane season, you will see that team in full force because we all work crazy hours, because we all love what we do, and we all take a lot of pride in trying to keep you guys safe during hurricane season. So, all right, so Greg will be here tomorrow night. He doesn't want to be on DPL. He wants to be on behind the scenes just to see what we're doing and seeing how it all works, but I might pull him in anyway, and then he will be running this next week. So you guys thank you, Ryan. You guys have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow night, and hopefully by then we'll have a better idea of exact timing on 4th of July and everything along with it. So guys, I appreciate your loyalty. I appreciate your help. Please continue the feedback. I even talked to my boss today, and she's like, I think I can get somebody to help you out with getting some interviews so we can get some more interviews on DPL when it's a little less active with the weather, because I want this to be your show. I mean, this is our show. We started it as a group. I want to continue it as a group. I want to make it as interesting and as relevant as we can to what you like to hear, and that can be anything or everything, because you guys know me. I'm open for everything. I'll try anything. I don't care. So have a good night, and we will see you on tomorrow night's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. See you guys.